Welcome back inside the Now Morning Show. We're chatting about the President's annual concert series. It takes place on the President's compound. And this morning, I welcome Colin Graves, the President of BP Renegade, to tell us a little bit more about it. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, and good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Thanks for having me.
Welcome back.
I mean, I feel like home, right?
Yeah. Definitely like home. Speaking of which, back in 2023, you would have started this series with the President's House, doing this concert series. You did Mother's Day, you did Father's Day last year, and now we're back to Mother's Day again.
Correct.
Let's go back to the beginning and remind people as to why this initiative was started in the first place and how it came to be.
Well, firstly, let me clarify that when we say the President's annual concert series, it's not Mia, it's not President, it's not Renegade's President.
No. We mean ORTT President.
ORTT President. Her Excellency the President, Christy
yes.
Kagalu, ORTT, President of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. So I want to take people back to 2023, of course. In Her Excellency's inauguration address, she made it very clear in terms of giving kudos to the steel pan community and speaking about the fundamentals of discipline and education and commitment that happens to accompany a visit to any panyard in Trinidad and Tobago. And of course, people who are generally involved in the steel pan movement, the dedication and the commitment of excellence in rehearsing and the sense of community that panyards foster.
Yeah.
Her Excellency used that motif within part of her inauguration address to say that she wanted to build on this and to use the office of the president to bring more visibility to it nationally, and of course to position the steel pan model, as we call it, the steel pan community model, at President's House in various initiatives, so that these things get more of a national attention and focus. So the annual annual concert series, which we would have started, you mentioned, in 2023 for Mother's Day, was the first of this initiative, which came about by us challenging the president. And we say, you're gonna walk the talk now. You talk big. Let's see what comes out of this.
Yeah.
And definitely their excellencies have come on board and they have said, no, we're doing this.
Yeah.
So what would have started as just the annual President's annual concert series actually also evolved into their excellencies last year turning President's House into a panyard for a week for it as well.
Yes.
Which is another initiative that they have later on. So this concert series definitely is something that we look at as very important. When we think nationally, especially on importance of families and the family unit and the importance of the family unit in society, earlier I know you had the TTPS on, and we always look at the role of the family in ensuring crime prevention, crime reduction, training, discipline, and stuff like that. Things like Mother's Day and Father's Day are very important. Celebrating what parents contribute to the development of their children's lives, and also celebrating the family unit. So this President's Concert Series brings the family together in an amazing way. In Mother's Day, when you do these things for the first time, you have no idea how much people are going to show up.
Yeah.
So we thought, you get 300-400 people. Well, surprise, over 800 or 900 people showed up on the first
Well, the
one.
cost was, irrefusable.
I mean, cost and quality.
Cost and quality.
I mean, you're talking the president, you're talking BP Renegades. What more you need, right? Well, you can't get better than that.
If you do say so yourself.
So the cost, because it's a gift to the nation that's produced, and we want to thank, of course, the main sponsor of the activity, which is BPTT. So BP Trinidad and Tobago, they have come on board from jump, from day one, and they said, we definitely see great value in this, in supporting activities that bring the community together, and understanding, the energy, good people energy is important.
And tell me about the decision to move it from Mother's Day to Father's Day last year.
Well, we started on Mother's Day because Her Excellency's inauguration would have been the month before that, and it was the first thing that was upcoming as a monumental day per se. And banking on the success of that, seeing the families come out together and seeing the amount of people that came out. I mean, you're talking generations. We had grannies, aunties, sisters. So many families actually came together. Her Excellency asked last year, she said, let's do it on Father's Day in 2024, so that, fathers are often forgotten and not given as high pomp and ceremony as we do with mothers generally, right?
Thank you, Your Excellency.
Yeah.
I just had to say thank you. Thank you, Your Excellency. We appreciate it.
So that was done last year, and I mean, last year, June versus May is very different in terms of the weather as well.
Yes.
So there was a lot of rain early in the day. But again, to our surprise, 1,000 people came out. And, you know, a time was had by all present. So now we're back again and we're alternating. So this Sunday, which is Mother's Day, we are back at the President's Bandstand, and which is the front lawn of President's House, to celebrate mothers again.
What time does the event start on Sunday?
Well, gates open from as early as 4:30.
Okay.
People line up from 3 o'clock. from 3:30, people start arriving. They park, they line up, and you know, we provide seats, but we always encourage people, you know, walk with your seats as well if you want. You know, walk with your blankets. It's that type of event. Coolers and drinks are allowed, just not in glass bottles.
Right.
So that's also very important. And this year, courtesy the Office of the President, we will be giving the first 100 children a special token and gift, courtesy the Office of the President, children ages between 8 and 11.
Okay.
And of course, they must be accompanied by their parents and guardian. So
Now, I know one of the things that you'll always have is some special guests that join, because of course BP Renegades performs, but apart from BP Renegades, who else is performing this year?
well, along with we always mix the cast, so it's always about giving up and coming artists and established artists so that we have a nice mixture. So we have opening the show, young Calypsonian, no stranger to the stage, Zachary Ransom.
Former junior Calypso monarch, but young
say,
Calypsonian. He will have more experience than both of we put together.
You know, and if people have recalled his performance, he's such a brave young man. Like when you meet him off stage and on stage, two different personalities, you know. So we have Zachary Ransom opening the show, and then onward from that, we jump to one of the veterans. We have David Barrow and friends. Humorous Calypso at its finest, you know, one of the great storytellers in song. Is going to bring some humor to the stage, and then we jump into a staple on the show now, the BP Renegades Youth Steel Orchestra, which I must mention, the reigning national junior panorama champions 2025. Just have to throw that in there. And also, you know, just to put a shameless plug, it's the 25th anniversary of the BP Renegades Youth.
Okay.
So we're celebrating with them. They will be featuring Myron B.
Okay.
So we're going to have some extempo live as well.
Nice.
Following that, we have Natasha Benjamin. I don't know if you're familiar. Natasha Benjamin is one of, I say, Trinidad's hidden gems. She's a lounge singer. We would have seen her many times if you're at the Hyatt Regency for dinner or at different hotels, functions like weddings and different cultural events. But vocalist extraordinaire, really entertaining. So she's gonna turn it up a notch, some old school and stuff. And then onward from her, we have Nival Chetlal. Yeah. So,
we recently saw Naval getting all the flowers after the performance for the swearing in of the Prime Minister.
Yeah, who he reignited our love for him and our passion. With Trinidad and Tobago fell in love with Naval all over again, like we do every single time he hits the stage. Yep. So Naval Chetlal is on the show as well, and then. From him, we go to Alicia Jagasa. We all refer to her as the parang queen of Trinidad and Tobago right now. But the thing is, she's going to give us a real nice Latin flavor. Okay. So it's not just, it's not the parang, you know, she's evolving as well. So it's Alicia Jagasa and the Evolution Band. Okay. And they'll be giving, you know, some of Mom's favorites. Maybe a little Quando,
I love what Mom's favorites are.
The Sunday evening songs, you know.
Right, okay.
They get up and give the little dance in the chair songs. And then onward from that, we're going to jump into the big band, the BP Renegades, and featuring Quinton Nichols, another vocal powerhouse. He made a brief guest appearance at last year's show with the Renegades Youth, so he's back this year. So as you see, we have a real star lineup. The cast is amazing. We definitely have a lot of good energy. You know, we have photographers and photo booth, and the ambience is nice. There's secured parking. We have.
Where's the secured parking?
Right across the street.
In Savannah?
Right across the street.
Let's check and make sure people know where to park.
Yeah, so what it is that we work, of course, with the Office of the President, makes all of the facilities available to the event. So we have the parking is right across the street from the visitors' entrance to President's House.
Right.
The police services are so gracious. They help with parking logistics and, you know, helping people across the street and stuff. It's a real nice full service effort. You have the Defense Force coming out and helping mothers cross and you know, ushering them to seats and stuff. You have members of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Traffic Branch, you know, holding people's hands across the street.
Nice.
You know, we make sure we light up the trees. We ensure that the savannah is appropriately lit and stuff. So parking is a breeze. So it's a really wonderful, free Sunday
I wanted
evening.
to re-emphasize that part now, boy, that it's actually free.
Absolutely free.
So you don't need a ticket. You don't need to call and link anybody. You
Nope.
don't need to call and say, hey, link me with this now. You just need to say, I go in.
Correct. You just need to show up and bring your mom. And I mean, we're here today because we want to ensure, once again, that the people of Trinidad and Tobago benefit from this. You know, over the last 2 years, or 3 years, now into 3, Her Excellency has made the office of the President and President's House accessible to Trinidad and Tobago. You know, from art shows and primary school tours to concert series and things like that. So, as we say, the facilities here, it's open. The Bandstand is the place to be on Sunday evening. It's going to be an amazing show. The concert starts at 6, actually.
It starts at 6.
The concert, the musical part. So before the concert, we have activities, photography, photo booth things.
So from 4 p.m. we could go inside and
hang
get
out,
comfortable,
DJ,
take your pictures.
all of that stuff. But the actual live show starts at 6 with the performances. And that usually runs until about 8:30.
Until it's done.
Yeah.
It runs till it's done.
And I could safely say, you will have a time. You will be dancing. Your chair will become your enemy at some point in time. At some point in time, you're going to tell the chair, leave me alone. I'm taking a little dance right here.
What I find very interesting is, when we spoke about the beginnings of this, you mentioned the desire to kind of platform the steel pan a little bit more, to showcase it a little bit more. And in the time period between the start of this and now, one of the things that we saw coming out was, of course, the steel pan becoming a national instrument of Trinidad and Tobago officially.
Yeah.
Of course, celebrating World Steel Pan Day and all that sort of thing as well. So I feel like it adds to the visibility of the instrument, and it adds to us appreciating the instrument just by being able to do these things. Because we always think that, this is this person's responsibility or that person's responsibility, but every one of us have a part to play in it. So I'm really happy that you all decided to challenge the president on and call her out and saying, hey, you said this, let me see if we could hold it. Because we need more people to be able to take up that mantle, because I believe that our leaders they're willing, but they may not always know how to.
Yeah.
But the people who know how to should come to them and say, hey,
let me help this.
Let me help you make this a reality.
I heard you say that you want to do this. We can assist.
Yeah.
And I'll definitely say once again that special thanks to BP for coming on board from day one. They invest significantly just to ensure that the event comes off in a way that everybody is very happy. And you're right. When you look at the progress of the steel pan over the last couple years, and I must give kudos as well to Mrs. Beverly Ramsey Moore, because she has definitely been pushing the agenda of the steel pans, man. So now we are in the coat of arms. President's House would have also had the official fanfare re-recorded.
In time?
Yeah, come on.
I didn't notice
Where
that.
have you been?
I didn't notice that one.
Don't worry.
I swear I hear the horn one play just...
They have used the steel pan one as well.
I
So,
hear the steel pan one.
there are things in the works. We've seen where, the steel pan being featured more and more to do the national anthem at serious events,
I know,
especially internationally.
Well, I know that we re-recorded the NSS, would have re-recorded the national anthem, and we use that one officially now at like the sporting events, etc., etc. I didn't realize that in the president's...
Yeah, so there are a lot of wonderful things happening, and I think Sunday is another opportunity for Trinidad and Tobago to come together. And I always say, these things, when we bring people together and there's good energy and fun, and you see the generations, it reminds us over and over and over. These are constant reminders about the essence of what being a Trinbagonian is. This is elections done, the politics done, everything is done. Football done, your team winning, losing, basketball going on. It don't matter. There's so many things in this society that puts us into segments. There's A versus B, 1 versus 2. But when we come together in things like these concert series, all of those barriers are removed, and it's just one population, one group of people having a wonderful time.
And together we aspire.
Together we achieve.
Ladies and gentlemen, Colin Graves, the BP Renegades president, joining us this morning to let us know what's happening this coming Sunday that you definitely want to be a part of. It's the president's annual concert series. Don't miss it. It's happening at the president's house, the bandstand in front of the president's house, and you definitely want to partake because it's free and it's going to be great quality. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Colin. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Same to you. Thank you.
We take a quick break and come back with more in our morning show. Stay tuned.